Welcome to Just Breathe. That's it. We're just gonna be here together to breathe. I'll guide you through a couple of gentle breathing techniques, but mostly I want you to just rest in this permission to just breathe. The permission to let your body breathe, whether it's with your conscious attention or you can allow yourself to slide into a subconscious relationship and trust the process of breathing. Welcome to our Just Breathe practice, an invitation to prioritize the simplest relationship with living. That's just breathing. So everything else is optional, but can you choose to breathe even when you don't wanna? But more importantly, can we cultivate a deeper allowing to trust the process of our autonomic system? That means our below consciousness level of our nervous system to do the breathing without us having to pay attention. And in doing that, we can start to recalibrate this pulsation, this spanda energy between effort and ease. So as you find a comfortable, sustainable, preferably upright posture, see if you can spread the chest, particularly if you've been doing a lot of desk work or driving. See if you can spread horizontally across the chest. And if you can deflate those shoulder blades. And as you deflate those shoulder blades down the back, it might literally change the orientation, the space of your elbows landing. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And root down. Feel yourself supported beneath your seat. Whether you're in a chair, whether you're on the floor, whether you're on a tower of props and pillows or blocks and supports. All of that is just to enable your sustaining this place in ease. Let the eyes rest, whether that's with an open or a closed lid. And it's allergy season. It's come in full force in the last day or so here in Maryland. So if that's a challenge for you, breathe any way that you can. You might even just pause and see if you can feel a dominant nostril. Not surprising for me, given that I'm in this position of guiding you, of holding the intention. My right nostril is dominant. So just notice for you. And start to deepen and slow that breath, filling up the lower lobes of your lungs to help with the oxygen exchange. And in doing so, you might get a little bit of a Buddha belly puffing and then a drawing back of the navel towards the spine. It's enough just to breathe. As your attention capacity allows, you can engage in this intentional expansion of the body to receive the breath. Now, if there is mental distraction or environmental distraction, for me it's traffic going by on East Church Street. The Ujjayi breath, the sounding ocean breath, can help to draw our senses inward by giving us something to feel and also something to hear. So that might be a gentle way to deepen your pratyahara, your turning inward, and notching up just a little bit of the effort, not enough to close the throat and keeping the throat separate from the pelvic floor, right? So they tend to work together, but can you keep a softness? If you cannot, then just do the ujjayi on the exhale and then soften on the inhale. Exhale, even if the pelvic floor lifts, that's okay. But on the inhale, soften the throat for the ujjayi so that the pelvis can also soften. So our next expression is going to be a single nostril breathing, not yet the alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to start with my dominant side, so I'm going to simply close off the non-dominant nostril, right? For me, that means the right nostril is open. If you don't know which one is dominant, don't worry about it, just pick one, and we're going to breathe in and out through the one side. Now you can, it's not cheating, breathe through the mouth or breathe through both nostrils and just generate that focus of attention through that right side nostril, or your side, your dominant side nostril. We're taking about 10 breaths here. Releasing to find a both nostril open breath. Now chances are your non-dominant side is going to be a little more alert now, simply because you ceased its participation. You interrupted its data point of receiving tickling of that breath, and now you've reopened it, in which case it's like a fresh start. So as long as that sensation of newness, of reopening is strong, continue to breathe through both nostrils. And when that dissipates, simply switch to the second side. you found about 10 rounds, release the binding. Reopen both channels to notice, to feel, to breathe. Notice the lingering echo of that one-sided breath. And then as it dissipates, because new information is coming into the body, shifting our attention. We can shift by our paying attention mindfully. And sometimes we shift by our consequences. We have no available option. Shift is going to happen. So learning how we can control what we can control will increase our capacity to shift with grace, with ease. Perhaps now the sensation's a little more even between right and left. You might even check in. I don't personally feel that my left has taken dominance. It actually feels pretty even for me right now. So between kind of the ramp up energy of starting this class and now the consequence of having had some time to just be with you, to be with myself, to be in this breath, my belly is starting to gurgle and my breath is pretty even between right and left side. Both of those are signs of my parasympathetic nervous system, my ease, my rest, my digest system saying, hey, we feel pretty good. How about we do something nourishing? How about we do something that isn't fight, flight, or freezing, isn't sympathetic? Sympathetic is a bit of a misnomer. In our terminology, sympathetic nervous system means that we are sympathetic to what's happening around us. It's relative to what's going on around. Whereas the parasympathetic supports that outward focus, hence the para, by first and primarily coming back and forth by checking in, by nourishing ourself before we return to that external outward focus. So even our nervous system is validating this priority of our self-care, of this ebb and flow, this spanda pulsation of doing and non-doing. So just notice how that lands for you. And it's normal. About every 90 minutes or so, our system will change the dominant nostril. And there are teachings that tell you to do certain things when this nostril is open most and other things when this nostril, the other nostril, is open most. First, just get a baseline. See if you can connect with that channel, that energy coming in and stimulating, tickling your passageways. Pay attention. There's a lot there. And so now, just breathe concludes, and we go back to doing the things, trusting our breath to continue to nourish and sustain us until the next pause when we can turn in and shift consciously, mindfully. So until then, may you breathe deeply and fully. May you move freely and labor lovingly so that you can live vibrantly and intimately with prana. Namaste.